Why I broke up with my Thai girlfriend.
So here we are, Thai legal service, day one.
Let's rewind a year. I was in Australia, fed up with a job that was low pay and high demand. I quit my job, sold my car, and I moved to Thailand for a fresh start. Soon after arriving, I went on a Tinder date with a Thai girl, a lunch date. Now she was intelligent, elegant, university educated, a diamond in the rough. Whilst a lot of Thai people here, they live above bars in less than ideal conditions, she lived in a pool villa outside of Pattaya. Soon enough, she encouraged me to move out of my tiny condo and into her villa with her. Now, she was incredibly honest. She's an incredibly honest person, and she gave me the full story pretty well right from the start. Her sister was murdered by her British husband, who subsequently killed himself, leaving 3 young children without parents. So she inherited the kids and the house and the car and the house mortgage and a gargantuan family debt. When I moved in, the pool villa was almost in a state of disrepair, and the creditors, they were closing in. So I'm helping her to get it ready to put on Airbnb, but in the long term, she is hell-bent on holding on to that property because the way she sees it, it belongs to her nephews, and when they grow up, they're only 9 and 12 now, but when they grow up, they're gonna need somewhere to live. Now me, I just walked away from a 14-year career in Australia's welfare system, where it was my job to intervene in broken families where fathers were sometimes sex offenders, mothers sometimes drug addicts, and children were left abandoned, neglected, and homeless. Now, that's a long time to be practicing a singular trade craft. That stuff doesn't leave you just because you leave it. When I discovered the precarious situation that this Thai girl was in, I decided I could help. Now, her monthly mortgage repayments on this pool villa were extraordinary and far beyond our means. Using YouTube as a platform to earn money, I set about fixing up the villa to a level where it could be rented out full time. So with the financial support of the YouTube community, some members of my family back in Australia, and almost full-time vlogging and editing, I was able to start fixing up the house. As is often the case here in Thailand when properties are purchased off the plan, fixtures used in construction are of a low quality. The paint was flaking, the air conditioners had blown up, the tiles in the pool had cracked and it was leaking. 40% of the floor tiles inside the house had been poorly laid and thus cracked, which had created a mosaic effect throughout the house. The oven had blown, kitchen cupboards rotted, bench tops disintegrating. So bit by bit, month by month, paycheck to paycheck, we began to repair each step. When the jackhammering began, we moved out into a small rental in Jomtien. Whilst I'd make videos during the week, the weekends were for hard labour. After 8 months of this, the repairs were nearing completion, and it appeared as though my life of paying a monthly rent and a monthly mortgage was coming to an end.
Keys always says to me, how is it that it's taking you this long to just get the house ready? Why can't you just get the house ready and pop it on the market tomorrow? Everything is blood, sweat and tears, every step.
Then the bank came a knocking. They were going to foreclose on the loan because the original owners were both deceased. Some sort of administrative phenomena that was way beyond my understanding. We enlisted the assistance of Thai legal service.
So here we are, Thai legal service.
In Bangkok, who Keys had put me onto. He did a recent video with Peter, a lawyer there. In the video, they discussed a range of legal protections for foreigners in Thailand, and I can recommend their service if you find yourself unable to navigate any administrative hurdles in Thailand. 8 months of stress was taking a toll on me, and at times I became toxic towards my girlfriend, and she would reciprocate in kind.
I have the roof. Thai builders.
As I grappled with the pressures of making videos on a platform that guarantees no success, she immersed herself in her knitting and her sewing work at her desk day and night. Like ships in the night, I'd leave the house every day to go to work, and she'd stay cooped up in the studio sewing. At night, we'd meet and debrief about the hurdles which lay ahead. I felt like we were so close, like maybe we were going to achieve the unachievable, saving a house, saving a legacy of a sister to pass on to the orphaned nephews. But the hits kept coming. Grandma's house back in the village needed repairs. The creditors were coming for Grandma's tractor and Grandma's truck. The kids would eventually need to go to high school, and Lily wanted them to go to university after that. Ultimately, Grandma's farmhouse would need a full knockdown rebuild, and 2 massive loans on the farm would also need to be taken care of. My mind kept returning to that black dog video I made on Jomtien Beach a few months ago, where I talked about it being a mistake walking into Lily's life, because she's a beautiful person, a kind heart, a good soul, and a caring mother and daughter. She deserves some financial security after the turmoils of her life. As she became more frustrated at me for being away from home, buried in my work, our relationship stretched. As an example, Keys told me last week that I've not visited him in Bangkok since I arrived in Pattaya 1 year ago. Yes, we've passed through en route to jobs and visa commitments at times and popped in for a coffee, but I had never made a single trip up solely to visit him. Now, after 14 years of friendship, that's a strange situation to be in. So over and over, I crunched the numbers in my head. My girlfriend needed someone who could provide financially and also be present for her, and I was no longer present.
All new tiles. Every single tile was cracked. New aircon, new beds.
And one morning recently, it came to me.
All new tiles, new aircon, new king bed, still unwrapped.
I needed to get out of her life so she can meet someone that can provide both those things, not just one of those things.
New kitchen, new sink, new bench tops, that was all cracked. New cement, fake grass coming, basically a new pool, new deck.
So I'm left feeling a sense of gratitude to the YouTube community for supporting our journey throughout this year, and my family for contributing along the way as well, for improving the lives of these 3 young boys while helping this one Thai family toward a brighter future after the heartache that long-time subscribers will understand simply was not fair.